This actually makes a nice little hat, just in case. Have you read his Fat Life list? I mean, it's like 400 things. Cows. So one of the problems that I have with some of the pieces out in public is just the design. It's nice, lightweight leather, pretty garment leather. I don't do a lot of this. This is actually probably the most decorated piece I've done, which is my favorite, by the way. Because people get on my nerves, and so what I do with this when I wear it is I hug them really, really tight. And I think it's about 70 spikes that are on that thing. Somebody's going to count, I know. But they're actually pretty prickly little spikes. I don't normally do decorated stuff. What I normally do is suspension harnesses. I was actually working on a rappelling harness yesterday, safety rappelling harness, with the suspension in mind. So a lot of what I do is fairly durable. It's heavyweight. There's a lot of oil. There's a lot of dye. It literally turns your hands black if you're using black, which I use black a lot. That's my favorite color. So, in the theme of winging it, has anybody actually ever thought about building one? Yeah? What'd you come up with?
It's just a basic X harness. I haven't done it myself yet, but basic X with a strap going down to a ring and going back up the back.
We call it a bitch strap. I also have a collar that calls me a bitch, which I like because I am. That's what I call a bench strap, because that's how you do it.
Yes.
We'll demonstrate with him. But y'all have never thought about designing one, owning one, buying one, anything like that? Has anybody seen what's called a woven harness? It's like little long pieces and the woven just kind of goes in and out of it. You've never seen it? I had come across this not too long ago. Actually, I saw it probably about, I'm not going to say how long ago I saw it. That has always been one of my favorite pieces. And I ran out of those rings. And that's where I left them. I have to order another, probably $50. It's actually really simple to do that. And then attaching, like we'll go on later, in the actual construction part of it, is attaching that to the rest of it to make it a harness is actually pretty simple. Termination straps, keeper straps, something like that, keeper snaps. It'll wind up being a really heavy piece, but it's not. Now the difficulty is going to be in trying to go into the female, because that's not very flexible. It's a very rigid piece once it's done. But I took a couple of collars out in public last weekend, and got four people. They didn't want the collars, they wanted wristbands, watch bands, you know. One guy called it a bracelet. I'm like, all right, he's cute, I'll do it for him. But anyway, the thing is that that number one will stretch, number two it'll come back. Okay, so it'll give and it'll get. Number two, there's not a whole lot of real hard mounting, bolting, snapping, punching. It's just you cut the leather and you leave it. That's all you do. And if you start pulling it apart, you'll see exactly how it goes together. It is by far one of the simplest things I have ever done. Now, it took a while to do that. It probably took me about 3 hours to sit down and do that because I kept fucking it up. I went up with a step ladder. It's like, pull it off. So, it's actually one of the easiest things I've ever created, because if you look at the ends, you can loop that into the ring. Okay, if you want to make it a collar, I have some out in the truck. If you want to make a collar or armband or something like that, you can also punch the snap holes right through that. And it's pretty sturdy. It actually binds the leather together so that you don't have to create a termination strap. In and of itself, it creates a termination strap or a termination hook. So, and plus it'd be a pretty heavy-duty little snapper. My hair bit. So anyway, there's a lot more. There's so many different ways to build harnesses. It's just absolutely unbelievable. one of the things I'm hoping to get to is actually to build a female harness. Have you ever seen a female harness? You know, it's kind of like what I call open cup with chain link bra. Basically, that's the focal point of the female harness. The hard thing is that actually has to be fitted specifically to apparently the left and the right breast, because the guy's left arm is like a half inch, maybe an inch smaller than the right arm or something like that. The breasts are different because then you're doing 4, 5, 6 pieces around one area versus one or another one. Okay? And I'm hoping we can actually get to that point. At least start on. I got different crazy stuff. There's a couple other pieces. I mean, leather is actually, for me, it's one of the more difficult ones to do. Oh, I did bring collar. Yeah. The winner of the surf contest, Bear, inspired me. Yeah, I thought I had to go. But I also have a chain link harness. And probably actually try to lay very back. Make sure to lock the weapon. Anyway, leather's a little bit more difficult to work with than say chain. Chain's very easy working. For me anyway. It's bolt cutters, you know, a couple of quick links, a couple of different pieces. And most of this stuff, other than the leather and some specific spikes, decorative pieces, you can pretty much find anything at Lowe's. You know, I do a lot of shopping at Lowe's. They love it. Yellow color keeps asking me, and I said, honey, I don't like them. Not that way. So anyway, the thing is, like a lot of this stuff, a couple pieces up here, tack shops, riding crops. Anybody use a riding crop? Beside you. It's an evil grin on it. You have? Have you ever busted? No. Does it ever come apart?
I haven't used it enough for that. I haven't used it enough for that.
Actually, I took one out. I bought it. I went out the next night. It came apart that evening. 3 hits. It was gone. Shot and shit. I finally got some gorilla glue to put it back together. It hadn't come apart yet. I'm hoping. But don't go to the porn shops for that kind of gear. Go to who makes it. What are they for? I know you're good. For horse riding, go to a tack shop. There's all kinds of really cool shit at a tack shop. There was a guy, I got some pictures I can show you, it's pretty vulgar. Let's see, one of these, maybe it's this one, was actually putting this together for an art show that I was a part of for a friend of mine. Anybody know what that is?
It's a bit.
Why?
It's a horse business, 5.5-inch bait, cost me $25. The cool thing is, the guy that wore was a bodybuilder. Not to be rude or socially acceptable, which I usually am, but this guy literally was half hard the whole night. He was totally naked except for this. And then because he was half hard, he wanted me to tie a piece of leather around the head of his dick and then literally suspend his dick with a piece of this. I got pictures of it. It's really funny. Great guy, really nice guy. Everybody's like, is he gay? I was like, come here, gay, straight, good, bad. He was a really nice guy. He showed up, he did it for free. Helped out a friend of ours. It was a fantastic evening. Plus, you know, it was funny watching the guy running behind him with the mop clean up. He touched his lost image. So anyway, these are a couple of my favorite pieces. It's easier to carry them. You need to light them first. You don't want you to sweat. You don't sweat, then I'm putting the 6 ton on you. Actually, I have to go this time.
Put it on?
No, you don't have to. I said, if you don't sweat, I'm putting this one on. All this shit comes from Lowe's. Twist chains, about $1.30 a foot. You get 20 foot of it. Gosh, what is that? You guys are in college, come on, quick. It's about $1.30 a foot. 20 foot runs you, what, $26? No, 13, yeah, $26. $26, and you got plenty left over to go down to your lower area. Which there are other attachments to these harnesses that actually go down the back. There's collars and stuff like that. That's just the basic. Actually, we can use you at this. You're about the same size as me, right? Let's throw it on the boy.